Hello, Sunday is Mother's Day. So I wanted to think about Mother's Day in the context of the economy and in terms of spending. Now, if you look online, you're going to see headlines like these that indicate that this Mother's Day should shape up to be kind of one of the biggest Mother's Days of all time. Well, let's go ahead and look at some trends. Here we can see that the number of people or the percent of people planning on celebrating Mother's Day is actually down 3%. But on this chart, we can see that the average amount of money that people plan on spending is up 7.3%. And if we look at kind of the total spend, we can see that the total spend growing to a projected $28.1 billion is up 5.2% over last year. In terms of what are people buying, the greeting card is the number one item out there. It has been pretty much forever. It's interesting to see that that is declining. I expect at some point it to no longer be the number one item out there. In terms of money spent, that's going to jewelry, some $6 billion people are planning on spending on jewelry this Mother's Day. In terms of who is doing the buying, it's both men and women, but it's more men than women, largely due to the fact that most of the spending is going towards mothers, both sexes, but often to a wife. In a lot of cases, the wife is has a spouse that is male. So that's what's going on there. I do feel obligated to correct the grammar on here. If you look, it says 2021. Who do you plan to? Well, that's not right. It's actually whom do you plan to buy a Mother's Day gift for this year? Interesting. I think the word whom is basically going away from our vocabulary. So look for that in the future when no one's going to use that word, and I'll be the only idiot that still uses it. Finally, all this data, it comes from the National Retail Federation. They do a survey every year in terms of Mother's Day spending. So I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great Mother's Day. Have fun trading out there. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Brian Kozlowski.